Hi everybody, this is B and today we are at my friend's and neighbor's house, Miss Patty. She actually gave me a loaf of banana bread and since that day I've been craving it, but I was too embarrassed to ask her for more. But so today she agrees to actually show us how to do it. So I'm gonna be behind the camera today and we're gonna watch her make the famous banana bread.
Well, good morning. I've never done anything like this before, but I kind of feel like, I don't know, Martha Stewart, whatever. This is episode 2 of Bee's Overton Neighborhood Cooking Shows from Your Kitchen.
All right.
And I'm going to make banana bread. I have no nuts to put in it because I can't eat a lot of nuts, so I just don't have nuts in the house. My containers are mixed nut containers from Costco from years ago, but it keeps the sugar, the flour, the brown sugar, all that kind of stuff very fresh. Okay, it's a very simple recipe. This page, I don't know the recipe by heart, but that's all there is to it. And anybody, your kids would love making this as well. All right, let's start out. I'll tell you the ingredients, that's how easy. 1 3/4 cup flour, 2/3 cup sugar, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 cup mashed bananas. But as you can see, I have thawed out some overripe bananas and I just throw 2 of them in it. And the reason I freeze them is because they take on a stronger banana flavor when they're thawed out and put in the bread. You don't have to put them in a cup and measure them. Just you'll see what I do. 1/2 cup butter, 2 tablespoons milk, 2 eggs, and if you want, 1/4 to 1/2 cup walnuts. Okay? So, the first thing you need to do is get 1 of the 1 3/4 cup of the flour. And I just use like the 1/4 cup measuring cup to get my flour. If you hear a dog, I do not have a dog. That is my phone, somebody's texting. All right, 2/3 cup sugar. And one good thing about these containers, sorry, I had to look and see it. Your brown sugar, which tends to clump, doesn't clump in these containers.
Awesome.
And you can shake it to loosen up. So 2/3 cup sugar. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I like this because the little can has a lip. If you didn't know what that lip is for, and a lot of people don't, it's to level off your...
Oh, look at that.
See? 1, what is this? Baking powder? 2 teaspoons.
There you go.
2 teaspoons. Okay. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And I just have the pour thing, but it pours right. Whoops. Yep. There we go. 1/2 teaspoon of that. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I always use, when I cook, I always use kosher salt. But you finish with sea salt. That's the way you use kosher salt. All right, so all the dry ingredients, you kind of fluff them together, okay? Now, it says to add the mashed bananas, and this is so easy. You take your thawed out overripe bananas, and because they're a good size, I use 2. Watch this trick. Barely pull it down and push out, and you get a whole banana.
Okay.
And it's very flavorful. Yes. And you don't have to worry about clumps when you're trying to mash the banana.
Look at that.
Looks like a sea snail. Okay. Alrighty. Now it says mix on low speed of my mixer, which I usually go way over here, which I will, because that's where the plug is. And you just mix it on low speed so it doesn't, the flour and everything doesn't fly around. And you just mix the banana in real well. And then you add, usually in baking you use cold items, like cold butter and all, but that's primarily if you're baking pastries, because you want that coldness. I let this thaw out because otherwise we're going to have kind of big clumps of butter. I did cut it up a little bit, not only to help thaw, but to also mix. And 2 tablespoons of milk. I don't go through milk very much. 2 tablespoons. So that's why I buy this handy dandy size, which I love. Thank you, Publix. 2 tablespoons of milk.
Okay.
See, this is very simple. Okay, now blend all this together. See how much easier it is blending with almost room temperature butter. And then turn it on high real good. It says 2 minutes, but you really don't need to do it for 2 minutes, as long as it's really mixed. And then I just kind of, yeah. All right. After that, you add your 2 eggs. I try and aim it for the drain there. Sometimes I hit it. And then the remaining flour. Remember, I only added a cup of flour here, but it called for 1 3/4 cup. So I'm going to add 3/4 cup flour to this. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And we are going to beat it until it's mixed. And I'm not going to sing.
Low, right?
I'm going to start on low, yes. It says again for 2 minutes. It might take 2 minutes to mix it all together, get those eggs blended. But see how it's, and I'll probably be wearing a lot of it. So that's all there is to it. Now, if you wanted, very simple, if you wanted to add other things like dried fruit, you could do that. You could probably add raisins maybe, or the nuts, because it is supposed to be a banana nut bread. I'm not going to worry about too much of this. There's plenty. What I did, I earlier sprayed this loaf dish because you don't want it to stick.
Yes.
And you just put this in the loaf pan. And that's all you do.
Great.
Very simple. And I think kids would like doing this. I mean, they could, add the eggs and the measured flour. It's good for math. So if your kids are stuck at home and you want them to work on math, cooking is the best thing to do because they have to learn their fractions.
That's the teacher talking.
That's me, the retired teacher. I was not a math teacher, though. And my hands are clean. I just need to get this little bit off.
Oh, well, you're the one who's going to eat it, so no big deal.
Yeah. And then you cook it at 350 for 55 to 60 minutes.
Okay.
And I always check it at about 55 because each oven is going to be a little different.
Yes.
And I just check it with a toothpick. Awesome. And if it comes out clean, it's done. If it's not quite clean, I leave it in for another 5 minutes.
Awesome.
And when it's done, you put the pan on the rack, leave it there for 10 minutes, or put the dish on the rack, run a knife after 10 minutes around the edge, and then turn it upside down and get the loaf out and just let it air cool on the rack. And then it will be ready to eat.
Awesome.
See
It took
how
us less than 10 minutes
it did.
to make the cake,
It did.
including the introduction.
Wow. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So guys, we will come back to show you what it looks like. But I already know what it's gonna taste like. See ya in a bit.
Bye.
All right, time is up.
55 minutes, and I'm gonna poke it with my toothpick.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it looks done. It's so golden brown. Ha! It's done. Perfect. 55 minutes.
All right.
So I'll let it sit there for about 10 minutes. And then, because if I run the knife, just a regular butter knife, I could do it now, which is very simple. See, it's not sticking because I sprayed the...
Spread it.
But I don't want to dump it. I don't want to put it on the rack yet.
Yes.
And when I said to turn it over, just on half, we'll do it in 10 minutes, but just roll it on the half to get the pan out, and then turn it over like it's sitting properly on the bottom.
We're gonna get a good shot of that after the 10 minutes. And I'm trying to see what it looks like. Up close.
Can you smell it? Do we have smell-o-vision?
Yeah, smell it. You guys, you can smell it, right?
So I'll set the timer for 10 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
I know there's a timer on my oven, but this was my mother's, bless her heart, and I still use it after all these years. Every time I cook, it reminds me of my mother.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I'm just gonna once again run the knife to make sure it's loosened, which it was to begin with, and it still is. And here's the trick. I gotta do it this way so it doesn't fall on the ground, on the floor. See, ouch, how it just rolls out, and then voila. And you wait a couple more minutes, and you've got banana bread.
All right. All right, we're about to taste it.
Alrighty, we're gonna put some butter on it because it's hot out of the oven.
Yes.
And I'm going to cut, as my mother would say, the butt ends. Ooh, it
Oh, we got the same butter thing.
must come from Walmart.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, ooh, see, it's so warm, it's still falling apart.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you that little piece that came off.
Yes, ma'am. I was filming this.
Let me get you. Good?
Ma'am, it's good. This is good.
Yum, yum, yum. Good food for the tum.
Now I know how to make it. I don't have to bug you all the time.
But you can. Next time, we'll make Irish soda bread.
That will be next time.
But for now, we're going to stuff our faces with banana bread.
Thank you so much. Last time I put,
Cream cheese?
it was a cocoa whip on top of this. I never had it with butter.
So you can see the bit of banana right
I
there?
can see it. Can you see it?
Can you taste it?
All right, everybody. This is our banana bread. It's delicious. I'm gonna put down the recipe for you, specific ingredients for you to try it, and let us know how you like it. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.